a stewardship account from the Rivers State government. Now, all of this started when 2 days ago we got a report that the governor of Rivers State, Wike, on Monday is expected to round off the second year anniversary activities of his second tenure with an account of his stewardship. This was disclosed in a statement made available to newsmen by the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Paulinus Nsirim. According to the statement, activities marking the second anniversary of the second tenure in office of Governor of Rivers State, Wike, will be rounded off on Monday. Now, the Obi-Wale International Conference Center, Port Harcourt, Governor Wike will give accounts of 6 years of transformation and unprecedented development in the 23 local government areas of the state. The infrastructural revolution, golden era in healthcare, educational advancement, agricultural development, rural transformation, and economic advancement will feature prominently. Other areas include housing development, security, administration of justice, sports development, social welfare, culture, and tourism. All lovers of democracy are enjoined to be a part of this historic event, which will also unfold plans for the remaining 2 years. Please note that all COVID-19 protocols will be observed at the event. So that was the report, which was an open invitation stating it's going to happen on Monday. And true to the words of the commissioner, it did happen on Monday. Now, this morning, reactions and the headlines were about whether or not people were satisfied with what happened. Governor Wike says the economy of the state has improved under his administration. Governor Wike said this while presenting an account of steward in Port Harcourt. He said under his administration, the state has generated more revenue. He also said that under his administration, the justice system in Rivers State has been restored. The governor criticized the nomination and screening of Ms. Loretta Onochie for appointment of INEC National Commissioner. So that's what happened. But it's just a part of what happened. Our correspondent, Emeka Otuka, was there live and in living color, and he joins us this morning to give us the account of stewardship. Good morning, Mr. Otuka.
Good morning, Sam.
Thank you very much for making the time.
For having me.
Always a pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm wonderful. Now, I know that a 1 hour show would not be enough to sum up everything that happened, but in your words, you were there live.
Yes.
Take us through the event. What happened?
Okay, yesterday the governor for the past 1 month now has been going around the state commissioning and inaugurating a project. So he said yesterday's activity was a kind of the grand finale of the activities to mark his second tenure anniversary.
Okay.
So during that event, he said he's going to give an account of stewardship of what his administration has done in the past 6 years. And during his presentation yesterday, he talks on different areas, which include agriculture, education, judiciary, infrastructure, roads, and all of that. During that presentation, I think one striking thing is that which I think everybody would be interested on is where he talked about the economy of the state, because everybody living in this state should be more concerned about the economy, whether you are part of the administration or not. If the economy of the state is improved, or if the economy of the state is good, it can also affect in your own area of business activity.
Okay.
So he said that under his administration, that the economy of the state has improved, that more revenue has been generated under his administration, unlike what he made when he took over in 2015. And when he was talking, and when he took over in 2015, and when he was talking, he said that more revenue has been generated and all of that. And people are more interested in revenue and anything that has to do with money. And when revenue has grown, it means that there is more business opportunity in the state, because revenue cannot grow in isolation.
Yeah.
Yes, revenue cannot grow in isolation. So he talked about that. And he also talked about the judicial system. I know the judiciary is another key sector in every administration. Without the judiciary, there will be so much injustice, there will be so much lawlessness and all of that in the society.
Okay.
So he said under his administration, he has kept that the state has also enjoyed judicial autonomy. That he has helped to build some of the decayed facilities in the judiciary. He has also to ensure that the judicial staff, especially the principal staff of the judiciary, enjoy a better welfare and all of that. He has built housing and all of that for them. He has given them official vehicles and all of that. And that under him that they now have that the judicial system of the state has been restored. So I think it's another good area that he mentioned that his administration has done very well. He also went ahead to talk about the health sector. He said under his administration, there is this the state has enjoyed tremendous boost in the health sector. The state has enjoyed tremendous boost in the health sector. Now, he talked about building renovating some of the dilapidated health centers in the state. He has also helped in building up hospitals in some of the communities, and is also currently constructing the cancer cardiovascular center. And that when that center is completed, is going to serve as a medical tourist center for River State, and it will also generate revenue and employment. I think this is another good area that he talked about yesterday, and this is the area I take interest in my report, because these are the area I think that most persons will want to ask questions on what he has done.
Yeah.
He also talked about the educational sector of the state. He said his administration has also done very well when it comes to the education sector of the state, that more schools has been built. The tertiary institutions of the state, he has also given them more funds to enable them improve in their facilities. That he has also to expand those campuses, to expand those institutions, especially the River State University, that he has also asked them to move some of the campuses in some of the LGAs, like Emogwa, Ahoda, and the Che, which the project is currently ongoing. He said that is to ensure that the university is also has more learning and accommodate more students and all of that. But under his administration, more faculties, more courses have also been accredited, and some of the schools that are currently not having lecturers and all of that, the lecturers and academic and non-academic staff has also been employed under his administration.
Emeka, let me get something clear. When the governor talked about education, did he talk about tertiary education or education generally?
He talked about tertiary education.
Okay, so no mention of basic education.
He also talked about the primary education as well, because he said some of the schools have been renovated. Some schools have been renovated under his administration.
Did he mention the schools? Emeka, did he mention the names of the schools?
No, I've been following up on activities of this government. So even if you don't mention in the roadmap of his administration, I think some of the schools are there. I've played through the roadmap. I've seen some of the schools that his administration has renovated.
So which of those schools, since you followed it, Emeka, which of the schools?
I know the girls' secondary school at Okuta has been renovated by his administration. Normally Grammar School has also been renovated by his administration. What is the name of this school in Bori has also been renovated by his administration. The Ubima Community Secondary School, Ubima, has also been renovated by his administration. The Community Secondary School, Omawa, was also renovated by his administration, among others.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now,
so we also talk about the security of the state.
Security. Okay.
Administration, yes. We also talk about the security. He said his administration will continue to prioritize security, but he has assisted the security agencies in the state in giving them security gadgets and all of that will aid their operation. Yes.
All right.
So he said that the ban on open grazing, that soon the River State government will begin implementation, but that is another area where conflicts between herders and the residents of the state is coming from. That if this law is being implemented, that he thinks that will also address the insecurity challenges.
Okay.
Although after which he now went into politics, where he talked about the appointment, the nomination and training of Loretta Onosha as INEC commissioner.
Wonderful. Now, Emeka, based on your report, this was basically the governor stating some of the projects that the River State government had embarked on.
Yes.
Was there any reference to official documents like a budget or something financial for people to see how much River State had gotten and how much had left? Speaking in terms of accounting, was there any such mention?
No, he didn't mention that. But I think he didn't mention that. There was no mention of how much was spent in those projects yesterday.
Okay.
But you know, some of these projects, before the contract to be awarded, or when the contract is being awarded, he always maybe provide amounts that those projects has been is being awarded for. So I think that like that of a cancer cardiovascular recently told us how much Gonzaga is constructing maybe flyovers in the state. We're also aware of how much they are being constructed.
Okay. Now, finally, Emeka, I understand that a booklet was shared to those who were at the event.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you have a copy. Okay.
I have a copy of it.
Now, what is the content of that document?
The content, although I've not gone through, I think it's about 500 and something page book. Yes. So the little I've gone is just the project that is administration, those that have been completed and those that are ongoing. I think that is what is contained in that book. Until I go through it, I can't exactly say all that in that book. But the area I've gone through, I saw the project completed, ongoing projects. Some of these projects I told you, I think they are there in the booklet.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add, Emeka?
I think on the news this morning, and I'm also reading online, where some persons are criticizing that the governor ought to have declared that the account of stewardship is one-sided because he did not mention how much was spent and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe, this thing is something that they have a committee. Maybe, as you know, the governor cannot speak out of what was maybe waiting for him to, as part of the committee, for him to present. But I think that is may also have been very valid because, Nigeria want to know how much for a particular project in order to check if you are managing or mismanaging the resources of the state.
Yes,
that should have been. That should have been part of it, just to remind River people again that this was what we used for this project, just to avoid this plenty criticism and issues on that account of stewardship. That's the
All right, thank you very much, Emeka, for your time. We appreciate it. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, that was a pleasure. So criticism, I've said many times, and I was quoting, not just saying, because that's what has been said before I came, as a basic part of governance. But it's important to remember that it's the employers of the governor that are asking for those accounts. After the break, you and I talk about whether or not you're satisfied with the stewardship account of the River State government. More importantly, we'll be looking in detail about what that kind of account is supposed to provide. Don't go anywhere.
The Morning Crossfire.
This is the Morning Crossfire on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still the Morning Crossfire 92.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Sam Oråcle Chinedu. And back to the focus. Governor Wike gives accounts of 6-year stewardship. He says the economy of the state has improved under his administration. Governor Wike said this while presenting an account of stewardship in Port Harcourt. He said under his administration, the state has generated more revenue.
Our economy has not just recovered from regression. It has grown and far more robust, stronger, and generating greater revenues for government now than when we came 6 years ago. Although the long-failing national economy continues to draw on our own growth prospects and projections, the fiscal policies and measures we have put in place have and will continue to sustain and increase our economy to create more opportunities for business, jobs, and empowerment. The Rivers Cassava Processing Company alone is a game changer in the long subdued potential of making Rivers State the foremost hub in cassava production in Nigeria.
Governor Wike also said under his administration, the justice system in Rivers State has been restored.
The new Federal High Court, the new National Industrial Court, the new Court of Appeal Complex, and the new Judges Portal for the state and federal courts all testify to what we have structurally achieved for both the state and federal judiciaries in Rivers State. We have also automated the case management system, ensured employment of more judges and magistrates, and sustained the administrative and financial autonomy of the state judiciary. Contrary to the chaos we inherited, there is no doubt that the justice system in Rivers State has been restored, and what we have now is a system that meets international standards, a judiciary that is working well in advancing the administration of justice and contributing to the socio-economic progress of our states.
Well, what is a democracy without opposition? It creates balance. So naturally, the opposition showed up. Former spokesperson of Rivers APC, Chris Finebone, criticized Governor Nyesom Wike for failing to give account of how much the state earned in his 6 years as governor of Rivers State. Mr. Finebone, in an interview, said Governor Wike only gave a one-sided account of his stewardship at the Obiwale Conference Center yesterday.
There is what is called value for money. There can be no honest accountability presentation or stewardship that will dwell on one side of the ledger. You have to present a proper stewardship by reading from both sides of the ledger. That is from the income side, which means accrued revenue to the state through federal allocations and IGR. Side by side, your expenditure represented by projects and other outflows. This is what will determine whether the people are having value for money or they are being scammed, as in this case. Indeed, there was a state.
All right. So the question is, are you satisfied with the stewardship account of the governor? A reporter took us through the journey of that event, and we've heard sounds from the governor himself as to what he believes is better. But let's look at what the term means, because you and I can only answer that question if we truly understand the meaning of stewardship. The dictionary defines a steward as an official put in a position to supervise arrangements or keep order at something. Somebody put in position to manage or look after something. That is what a steward is defined as. Now, stewardship is taking care of something like a large household, the arrangement for a group or resources of a community. Stewardship is responsible allocation, management, and oversight of capital to create long-term value for clients and beneficiaries. Now, this, of course, is a corporate definition. So this tells you that a steward is employed, was put there by someone to supervise. And that someone needs records. Now, an account of stewardship, official definition, I didn't put it there. Records kept by business entities of all their transactions. I'll take that again. Records kept by business entities of all their transactions, outstanding debt, and the way in which their capital employed has been invested. And so, if someone says, I'm going to give account of stewardship, they're giving that account to their employer. In the case of Nigerian politics, which a lot of people may have forgotten, you and I are the employer. The governor, the president, the local government chairman is the steward. they've been put in position to manage. So the question is, are you satisfied with the account that your employee gave you yesterday? The example given here is in a public limited company, the directors have a stewardship role and manage the company on behalf of the shareholders. So that's what it is. Are you satisfied? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 017-923-0007, WhatsApp and Telegram 080-903-0646. Emeka said earlier the governor touched on health, economy, judiciary, education and security, stating there have been improvements in those sectors. He also said the Rivers State government will soon implement the ban on open grazing. That is as much as happened at the event. My first call is from Daniel, calling from Agri Road. Good morning, Daniel.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead.
I'm not satisfied with such an account.
Why?
Because account and telling us the achievement is different. But what we heard from the commissioner information that the governor is going to give account of his stewardship of 6 years. Now what we are here seeing is just giving an achievement, telling us your achievement of what you have done. So there are two different things. I think it is not right for the government to continue to deceive the masses. What we hear is different. And what we are feeling is a different thing. This is not an account. It is never an account. Or maybe we can call it political account. Are they hiding something from us, the Rivers people, who are expecting? Because myself, I was expecting to hear how much he has received from the federal and from his ICAP. And that's how much he has spent, how much each of the roads, give us the real memo of it. But now he came telling us the achievements, and from achievements, we go into propaganda and going against the federal government for the appointment. Is that a way to come and tell Rivers people fool? But I'm not happy since I had this thing. And
right.
There are intelligent people, learned people there. None of them refuse to ask the question.
Right,
where are we going, Rivers? It is not about political abuse or maybe it's one of the feeding people. People prefer when they were in power. They just the masses.
All right, Daniel, thank you very much. You are not satisfied. David calls from Yenagoa. Good morning.
Yes, my name is David West.
Go ahead.
Sam, I want to tell you emphatically and categorically that I am not satisfied with the jamboree that took place yesterday. The governor, from your analysis and the definitions you have given, it is very, very self-explanatory. As far as there are no financial accounts, financial statements attached to what the governor said, it is laughable. The reporter that came, your guest, did not, let me repeat my earlier opinion in the morning, did not make mention of flood control or the environment as it is, what the governor had done towards the environment. The floods are here again. No mention was made. And he said he's giving us a scorecard or whatever. And also, let me also use this opportunity to advise my Lord, the Chief Judge of the state, and the learned judges. Yesterday was Monday. There are series of litigations. There are series of persons that are in custody in which of their courts people are supposed to appear. Are they saying in their court list, as at yesterday, Monday, it was blank that no matter will come up for hearing, but they all left the matters they would have heard to that political arena. My Lord, the Chief Judge of the state, should not be seen with his learned brother judges dancing around political arena.
All right.
That function yesterday was clearly a political function, and they are not supposed to be seen there.
Thank you very much, David.
My Lord CJ making a statement there is not too good.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Christian is calling from Bonny Island. Good morning, Christian.
Yeah, good morning, Dan.
Go ahead.
Who says they don't know what the meaning of stewardship is? They all know. The issue is, this is the tradition. They take undue advantage of Nigerians. It has started from the onset until we begin to fight our right and make people realize that they are stewards to us. They are supposed to give us accounts, you understand, of their stewardship. They should give us from what they receive, just like somebody analyzed it, from inland revenue, to the accrued accounts, from federation accounts, giving everything, how much they got for the whole year, how much they spent on this project, on that project. That is where we now know that, yes, this is a sincere governor. He's taking us somewhere. With people like this, they are not going anywhere as a people. They know the truth. All of them, from the federal to the states, they've turned this thing into money-making venture. They are all common thieves. I'm sorry to use that word. That's my contribution. Bye-bye.
Yes, I'm glad that you apologize for using it, because I was going to hold you to that. Chima calls from Ada George. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tan.
Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Tan, I think I'm not comfortable with that account of stewardship. Where is human capital development on that account of stewardship? I didn't hear from governor, outlining how many people that have been employed since he came into power. He didn't say so. Of course, we know that we have heard even from Western countries, they will tell you, look, we have employed these how many millions of people. These are the people that is being employed. So I didn't hear that. In the course of rendering this stewardship account, I did not hear that. Then secondly, I think when you are rendering account, you will tell us first of all how much that you have collected, just like the APC said, how much that you have accrued. You understand? Then tell us and break it down one after the other, how the money has been expended. You understand? So for me, I think that account of stewardship is not complete. So I'm not satisfied with it. Thank you very much.
All right. Leko calls from Oråcle. Good morning, Leko.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, from the definition you have rolled out, what the governor did falls short of account of stewardship. But a person like me, I'm not surprised. Because if you go to the River State Library and most of the public library in the state, you will see copies of yearly budget right from the time of this SPIF up to Odili and to the last administration. But for the current administration, you can't define a copy of their budget. So upon what are you making those stewardship? So we know what they are doing. But I hope that as with everything with nature, there's a day of reckoning. Thank you.
Thank you, Leko. Henry also calls from Oråcle. Good morning, Henry.
Yeah, good morning. This is Mr. Henry calling from Oråcle.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that account yesterday, for me, it was totally desolate. When I say it's totally desolate, I meant what I'm saying, that account was totally empty. Even in the church, if somebody is appointed as a stewardship, maybe to share something, how many plates of rice you share, how many drinks you share, and everything, and you are going to give them account. Are you getting me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so that is all the thing. So that coming up with such statement yesterday for me is so hilarious, because you didn't tell us the total money you received from the federal government. You didn't tell us the entire generated revenue. You didn't tell us how the money was spent you received. So you are telling us about your achievements and also telling us a political statement. I think that yesterday's statement was so political.
All right.
I think as Mr. Governor, before coming out to make an account, you should seek proper advice. Thank you and God bless you.
Well, thank you, Henry. Of course, from our reporter, we got that the political part of the conversation eventually came after the governor had listed the project this administration had embarked on. Hector on WhatsApp says, according to Governor Wike of River State, the state IGR has increased like never before. Could it be that the increment is based on over-taxation and excess levies on the already existing companies, investors, organizations, and businesses, or as a result of more investors embracing the state? Not long ago, the governor claimed that his administration does not borrow money. River State is the second most indebted state. It's also the second richest state. Hector says. Chinedu, good morning. You cannot satisfy human beings, whether you like it or not. For me, the governor has performed beyond expectation, and he stands to be the best ever produced governor since the history of River State. Those in opposition parties saying that Governor Wike did not touch on this area and that area should wait for another of his stewardship. The governor has shown to the entire country that he is a prudent governor and he came to serve his people. Thank God from Atwebu rather says on WhatsApp. All right. And Sam, for record purposes, Rumuguta Girls Secondary School is till now incomplete, in fact, abandoned. The basics of accounting is revenue and expenditure, the ledger, nothing more, nothing less. What is at stake is the resources and treasury of River State, which, at bona fide stakeholders, we are all entitled to, how it accrues and spent by anyone. Members of Assembly keep mute is no excuse. Now, when it comes to projects, no doubt, Governor Wike has executed according to his own discretion, but at what cost? This is the million-dollar question. No one should claim monopoly of all knowledge. Jerry Michael says on WhatsApp. Back to the phone lines. OG from Rukwaku. Good morning, OG.
Good morning, Chinedu.
Good morning.
Chinedu, with the little comments that people have made, and they are clearly stating that the governor has not done anything. I told that line. But I have a problem here. The problem I have is when our leaders are defining some certain words, this station and other stations are bound for people to learn. How do I mean by this? Young ones are listening to you. How will they be able to distinguish or know the meaning of some of these words? Stewardship. Because when a governor of a state comes out to say that he has done his stewardship by rendering an account, is that the way it's supposed to be done? How can we help? How can we learn as River people? We should stop misinterpreting some words. Stewardship is clear. That thing is just a jamboree. I think the governor or the government has to do with the aspect of people criticizing you. I'm expecting him to come out tomorrow to tell us and give us the accurate stewardship of any particular thing he has done in the state. And please, I recommend you, people should go ahead, and I ask the young ones, please do not follow some of these words. During the pandemic, they said dusk to dawn, and at the end of the day, it's head is 6 to 6. Please, let's learn how to use our words. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, OG has opened the grammatical door to politics. I think we need to shut it immediately. Chris from Artillery. Bright from Rumibo, good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Go ahead.
Yes. I think I wasn't disappointed anyway.
Bright, can you speak up, please? It's difficult to...
I can hear you, yes. I said I wasn't disappointed yesterday.
All right.
Because I knew the governor does not have the comfort and patience to give the proper stewardship account at its noon. And there are a lot of things that played out yesterday made mockery of the whole thing, especially made mockery of us Rivers people. You couldn't have presented that kind of thing in the public with the kind of media fanfare it had as stewardship account. And everything was just made in an open-ended statement form. You have improved the revenue base of the state. From what to what? Blank. The state wasn't this when you came. From what to what? I have renovated so many schools. How many? So many. And during the House of Representatives investigation on NDDC, one of the rest members told the MD, acting MD, in accounting palace, you don't say about. About is not an accounting statement. If you have renovated schools, how many? Where are they located? I mean, if you have renovated health centers, how many? Where are they located? And the governor ended up so many. Those are not statements of accounts. You don't make such accounts. At the end of the day, you ended up repeating the whole things we have.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Bright. Let's go over to Facebook. Monday Silvanus says he's done so well. Kudos for rendering his state account. Lekia Badam, someone should tell Wike to do employment. That Rivers people want employment. Okay. I'm guessing they don't want account again. Rex Mary Ikechuku Anyanwu, which economy improved? He asks. And Ambassador Samis Lawrence, I'm surprised all these accounts came without figures of what his government has spent and received for the last 6 years. Someone here is comparing Wike to another governor of another southern state. Alozie from Omuma, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yes. The stewards welcomed the government, President Wike yesterday. You know, we fail to understand that the extent of accountability is to work and keep balance. But it was very unfortunate yesterday that he just read out what he has achieved without telling us how the expenditure and what we have in balance. I think the governor has failed to understand that the fund who is used to do all these projects that he's doing is a public fund. And as a business individual, which I am, and a concerned citizen in that matter, I am still instructing and saying this, that the steward account which Wike did yesterday, to me, it is repugnant. I don't take it. Because there was nothing to show that this is the balance that yesterday what River State had. This is the balance generated revenue. This is what to have. He just read the novel. I think the governor is a good novel writer. Thank you.
All right, now let's look away from whether or not you were satisfied with the events of yesterday. Maybe it's a problem grammatically, as a caller said, of not using the right words. So maybe it shouldn't have been called account of stewardship. It should have been called something else. At least going by the definition. Let's look at what the governor said. And that part is important. Whatever you want to call the event, look at what the governor said. The governor said under his administration, the state has generated more revenue. That is supposed to translate in some form to a better business environment for the state. The governor said under his administration, justice system has been restored. There was talk about health, education. As a citizen of River State, a resident, have you felt these changes? That's also important. Whether or not yesterday's events can be called stewardship accounts. Walter from Oråcle, good morning.
Yes, I'm still.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, this morning on Morning Crossfire, there was headlines on the paper, and instead of many of us to comment on the headlines, we are on stewardship of the governor.
Yes, stewardship was one of the headlines.
I want to tell the people this is the right time. Anything we want to talk, this is the time we have to talk, the stewardship. And by my own knowledge, the stewardship the governor gave yesterday, he outlined what he did. Nobody have said that we were auditing him. If there is time, say, Governor, this is how much you have gotten from so-so time to so-so time. How do you spend it? How was the expenses? Then we'll go by that. The man said, this is what I did, this is what I did, this is what I did. And then the problem we have is all of us want to be governor. All of us want to be president.
All right, Walter.
That's the problem.
Well, first of all, that's not the problem. We are the employers of the governor. We do not want to be governor. I personally do not want. I don't know about the next man. But if I put somebody in a position with my vote, I should know how they are faring with my resources. So that's what people are doing. That's one. Two, on the newspaper review segment of the Morning Crossfire, it's where people respond or react to the headlines. The stewardship was also part of the headlines this morning. And so that's why people did what they did. React. Zion, my final call from GRA. Good morning.
May God bless you this morning.
Go ahead.
The discourse is stewardship. We callers, I believe we are conflicting this whole thing. Stewardship. He did not say accountability briefing. Or accountability briefing is going to narrate how much he borrowed, how much on expenditure, how much was on account. That is accountability briefing.
Oh, really?
But stewardship, oh, I have given you 3 bridges. I built you a hospital. I have traveled to America. I have done this. I've done that. That is the stewardship, what I have done.
Okay, Mr. Zion, let's take this to a smaller unit. Your family. Nobody knows it better than you. Let's imagine that your wife decides to give you an account. And she tells you, I bought food. I've bought, diapers for the baby. Depending on, what the needs of your family would be specifically. And she says it's an account. What are the questions you will ask your wife? What are the things you would demand from that account?
At that moment, I will demand for where is the gari, where is the rice. She said, I still want people. I did not ask of accountability. If we come to account, oh, this diaper you bought, how much?
Mr. Zion, I think English is the problem, and I feel like it's from your end, not here.
No, sir,
The word accountability. Listen.
Accountability is different from stewardship.
No. Accountability
Check your
encapsulates.
dictionary.
Oh my goodness. Listen, it's not nice that we're having this on radio, and it's looking bad for you. The word accountability encapsulates everything that involves bringing to bear what it takes to run a system based on what has been injected in it. So whatever you do to expose everything in that process is accountability. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, please try to understand. Well, this is where the show must end. And I hate to give a lecture on radio because that's not my position here. My position is to do other things but give a lecture. Connect with us at Nigerian 4PH on all platforms. Jude will join you at 9 for Hello Port Hackett. Have a beautiful day.